Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? CheFPV here, ATX RC Productions, CheFPV, ZeroGroundFPV.com. But today we are here with HobbyWireless.com and our good friends at Electrify RC. Now, all in the same for the most part. Electrify RC is actually a new brand that Hobby Wireless is coming out with. A couple of new products they're going to be launching, and the first is a really highly anticipated system for a lot of folks in FPV. It is the 3.3 Finch by Electrify RC VTX and RX system. So I'll be clear and honest with you right up front. I am not a huge knowledgeable person when it comes to the different frequencies and why choose this over that and all that. All I can tell you is the 3.3 is basically a frequency that's in between 2.4 and 5.8. It does need a ham license to operate this within the US. There are only 2 channels, I believe, technically that are available and legal in the US, but I could be corrected. The 3.3 spectrum basically allows us to get into a spectrum that's not 5.8, that has a little bit more range and a little bit more signal strength, if you would, than 5.8, but doesn't interfere with the 2.4 controls that a lot of folks use, and allows us basically to fly more people in the air with a better spread than the current systems. That being said, 3.3 has been highly anticipated for a lot of reasons. One, because people just want to see, does it work? Is it good? Can it be integrated in the current setups? 2, is there's not a lot of opportunity or there's not a lot of choices out there currently in setups and systems. So the Finch is really interesting, being that it's one of the first readily available, ready to go. It's been tested. Our boy Burst over at Hobby Wireless has already tested it a few times, and these are also making their ways around for other reviewers and other people to test, as well as being sold, and people are buying them and using them. So we're going to do a quick unboxing just to show you the system, and then more videos will come in the future. One will come when I actually alter this to work with my Fat Shark goggles in a way that will make it usable for me. I do not use a ground station. I use LaForge. So once we open this up, I'll show you what I'm going to do. So we'll start here with the smaller box. Nice, crisp, clean, plain black box. Yes, I love those types of boxes, actually. I don't like big fancy boxes where people spend more money on the packaging than the product. So open that box up, and that actually I threw in there. That's the power cable for the receiver module. But here we go, the Finch VTX. Now, to compare that thing to another VTX, let me see if I can find one laying around here. I can't. Oh, there we go. Here is a Hawkeye. So it's not much larger than a Hawkeye, except for the lower portion of the PDB or the PCB, which has, it appears to be the microphone and basically the plugs coming off of it. It also has the dip switches on the back, some other things, but it is slightly larger. It's definitely going to be much more of the immersion RC kind of size VTX. But they do have protectors on here for the pins, which is really nice. And it's actually pretty thin, as far as most VTXs are a little, they're a little thicker hardware wise. It's light, seems fine. So that's going to be interesting. So there's that. It does come with a ducky. If you'll notice, it has a 3 on the antenna because it's a 3.3 antenna. These duckies are not interchangeable, guys. It's got the cables here. Nice silicone, very thick. These are 20 gauge wires. It's nice and solid wire for a good solid connection. Power wire, same thing. So both of these plug there. They give you plenty of wire to work with and to build your own cable with. So good deal there. So there's the VTX. It does have a switch on it for high and low, so it has the ability to go from I believe 25 milliwatt to 200 milliwatt by just a flick of the switch. Again, dip switches on the back for channel changing. Now we'll open up the receiver module box, and in there you will find another ducky, the receiver module, throw the ducky on that, labeled nicely with Electrify RC. It's got a QC code. All right. And 5 to 16 volt input, AV out. By the way, this is up to 12 volt grounded in. Oh, I'm sorry. 12 volt grounded out is what it sends out on the VTX, and it's 9 to 16 on the input. So high voltage VTX. That's awesome. And it provides high voltage back out because all my cameras I run are higher than 5 volt cameras. So there's the receiver module. It's very compact and very small for a receiver module, especially compared to other receiver modules that I've seen and used. So we got our power cable and all that. Inside the box also, you're going to find the RCA connections. So we'll see these. And this is where what I'm going to do with this thing is going to be fun is I am actually going to chop these cables down tremendously. So I'm actually going to cut this cable really short, like right there. And I'm then going to take my Fat Shark goggle cable and I'm going to cut it super short. And I'm essentially going to wire these two guys up where I can take this and slip it in the battery strap, basically, right here. Just like that, with the battery in there, just like that. So I'm going to hook this thing up right there on my goggles to where I don't have to pull my LaForge out when I run the 3.3 copter I'm going to build. So I'm going to build this system around a new frame that I have. And that frame, bam, the Titan 225. Yeah, boom. You saw the video. I unboxed it last week when I got it, thanks to Patrick Bishop over at PB3D. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the VTX in there. We're going to build a little setup of cables so we can hook this up to our goggles pretty smooth and cleanly. And we are actually even going to chop this cable down, this bullet connector that I received for the receiver. And we're going to actually put a balance connector on that to where I can run the power for this thing off of my goggle battery. So my goggle battery will power my goggles and the receiver, and I'll have a 3.3 setup that when I pull that copter out, I can just drop that receiver in that band and go. So it's going to be really interesting and fun, pretty cool. Thank you to Wilson over at HobbyWireless for, having the faith in me to do a little video or two. You know I will. Burst, my main man. Keep the props up, baby. Zero Ground FPV. CheFPV here. Fly safe, fly smart. Fly HobbyWireless. Fly Electrify RC. Just fly. Peace.